All right, we'll wrap that one up. On to the next game, and I'll throw back to you for this one. I believe this is the fun one. Now, did you want to? Oh, I'll bring up the graphic first.
Yeah,
but,
let's go through some of the stats before we do anything else. And so
okay.
They're correct this time. And so
Wow.
the Saints 11-11, 77 lost to the GWS Giants 15-11, 101. Max King did his job with 3 goals, 1 there. Brad Hill, 2 goals, 1. Cooper Sharman, 2 goals, 1. And then it was just nothing from there when it came to the Saints. Obviously, on the disposal front, carried by Jack Steele and Rowan Marshall in particular. Another amazing ruckman performance. We obviously touched on Maxi Gawn. Rowan Marshall just as good. Perhaps has the argument, you could make the argument played an even better game than Maxi Gawn. But 31 disposals to Marshall to go alongside all of the hitouts in a fantastic ruck contest too. And Hill with 29. For the Giants, Riccardi with 3-2, kind of bobbed up out of nowhere, really. I was keeping half an eye on the game and half an eye on the stats as we went, and Riccardi was just kind of trucking along with nothing really for a while. Then suddenly, all of a sudden, he's got 3 goals too and leading the charge. So massive effort there. Toby Bedford, the man who nearly didn't play, it took that long for the tribunal and the appeals board to make a decision. 2 goals too from him. Kelly with 2 goals, 1, and then led by Tom Green, who is an out and out star. With 35 disposals. Lockie Whitfield, who got off to a very slow start this year, but is back to his best with 31, and Lockie Ash with 31 disposals as well, in front of a 68,000 person crowd.
There you go, 68,465. Bang. Well done, Paul.
Just got to spot those little details in the bottom.
I'll let you keep going, but I thought the Saints were absolutely terrible. I know a lot of other people out there saying, look, they could hold their heads high. I just did not like the brand of footy they were bringing. They couldn't, like, their defensive, like their kind of slower structured game wasn't working for them. They had to adapt and try and play the way the Giants were, and it didn't work. And so by the end of the game, there was in fact a huge sound.
There's a big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty giants.
It's just the gift that keeps on giving is this the GWS big sound memes. I have been swimming in them for the last 24 hours. It's been awesome. I'm loving it. And that is absolutely one of the best, because it's one of the best clips on the internet, that guy in the first place. And so, that aside, I guess there's a football game to actually talk about. The Saints were never in it. Let's be honest. The Saints never looked even remotely close. They were down by 3 goals at quarter time. Toby Green blew it out early. Amazing opening effort there. But it was actually statistically GWS's the highest ever first quarter score at the MCG for the Giants.
Yeah.
To do it in a final, which is an awesome effort. And I guess it rolled on into the second quarter there, where the Giants ended up compiling 8 consecutive goals, which, this is a team that's absolutely just riding a wave of momentum at the moment. They continue to do so right into their first elimination final. 8 consecutive goals. Complete control. The Saints pegged it back a little bit later in the piece there. They got the first few, got the last couple in that first half, but the Giants still led by 23 points at halftime, and you just never really felt like the Saints were going to get close. The scores kind of fluctuated around that margin, 25 points at 3/4 time, and then the final margin of 24 at the end of the game. But really, the Saints just never looked like they were going to get close. They might have put on 1 or 2, and then the Giants would just get them straight back. It was a pretty lackluster performance from the Saints. The Giants did lead by as much as 43 points in that third quarter, and the Saints were scoreless for 20 minutes. So it was not a fantastic effort by the Saints whatsoever. And look, they batted above their level most of the season. And so look, they should be incredibly obviously proud of how they performed at the end of the day in terms of making it to the finals and finishing where they did. But Rossi got everything he possibly could out of that mob, and now it's back to the drawing board. Solid preseason, build a few of these young guys up. They need a few that are kind of in that 18 to 24, 25, 26 sort of spot in the list to really make some big strides forward in the offseason. It can't be the likes of Matthias Filippo, because he's 18. He's an absolute legend, but we cannot expect players like that to be making these sorts of jumps that early in their careers. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but they might get there. I don't know. It's hard to make a solid call when it comes to Saints because everything seems to go wrong for that mob.
I didn't really like Filippo's game, but you got to remember he's 18. He's not even turned 19 yet, I don't think. So he was just invisible all night. But you're not gonna see the best of him until he's like 22, 23 or something like that. So yeah, it's a long way to go. It's a long summer for the Saints. Very disappointing from them, unfortunately.
They were making up the numbers before the final started in the end. As horrible, as harsh as that sounds. And your votes, we've got 3 to Tom Green, clearly the best on ground. Josh Kelly with the 2, and Rowan Marshall for his incredible effort as a ruckman with the 1 vote.
Could have almost had a couple of votes for Rowan Marshall, but I just thought overall the GWS was just too strong all day long. So could not had to give the higher votes to Josh Kelly and Tom Green there. Really, just an awesome performance from them. And I'll give them a chance. They're up against Port Adelaide. Probably on Saturday night, I think 7:40. I think it is.
Yeah, Saturday night. Yeah.
So I if anyone's going to beat Port over there, GWS
it's the team who's won at every ground all year.
12 grounds, 12 venues they've won it. They're going to give it a red hot crack. Well, you think so? You always think it's going to be the case that the team that won the elimination final is going to make some noise, some big noise. But who knows? They probably just be 40 points to the power. Like it's the way these things go sometimes. Semi-final round, I hate semi-final round, actually. I'll bring the energy next week and all that, but I just don't find many upsets. I don't know. I have to go back to the history books. It doesn't feel like there's many upsets in semi-final week.
Whereas I'm feeling like, and we'll get to the Brisbane Port game in a sec, but I reckon we're looking at 2 straight sets exits this year.
Ooh.
And so that'll make things very interesting.
Ooh, okay. All right.